is Vineet and I'm a student of basic chemistry on its final year. Today I'm performing an inorganic chemistry practical that is to prepare sodium trisoxalatoferrate plus 3I. The requirements of our experiment are sodium hydroxide pellets 4 gram, oxalic acid hydrate 4 gram, 3.5 gram FeCl3, ethanol, water, test tubes and beakers. Take 50 ml distilled water in a beaker and add slowly to it FeCl3 3.5 gram anhydrous and then constantly stir it with the help of a glass rod. Now we have to constantly stir the solution slowly after the addition of 3.5 gram of oxalic acid. Similarly, in another beaker, take sodium hydroxide pellets in 50 ml of water and constantly stir the solution. Now we have to mix both the solutions and then constantly stirring the mixture with the help of a glass rod. Now FeCl3 reacts with sodium hydroxide to give brown precipitate of ferric hydroxide. Now we have to slowly do this procedure so that FeCl3 react with NaOH to give brown precipitate of FeOH whole thrice. Now after precipitation, filter the brown precipitate of ferric hydroxide through Buckner funnel with the help of an ordinary filter paper. Wash the precipitate with distilled water and transfer it into a china dish. Now we have to first filter the brown precipitate of FeOH whole thrice through Buckner funnel with the help of an ordinary filter paper. Now you can see this is the filtration process. Now the residue that comes on to the surface of filter paper and the solution comes in the beaker. Now this is our precipitate. Now on another day, prepare the solution of sodium oxalate in one beaker and to above solution, the solution of sodium oxalate, add freshly prepared brown precipitate of ferric hydroxide prepared on the previous day in small proportion with constant stirring with the help of a glass rod to dissolve the precipitate completely. Now first we will take these precipitates in this sodium oxalate solution and then finally constantly stir it with the help of a glass rod so that it thoroughly mixes with it. Now if precipitate doesn't dissolve, then warm it and leave the solution for some time. And if they dissolve, then don't need to do such thing. Now filter the above solution in a china dish and using a funnel and filter paper. Now insoluble impurities will left behind on the filter paper. So this is the filtration process going on and the insoluble impurities left on the filter paper. Now keep the solution for some time and take this solution in a china dish and which you take the solution in a china dish and take this over the sand bath. Take this china dish over the sand bath having some sand in it. Now heat the solution to reduce their volume to half of their original volume with constant stirring to avoid crust formation on the walls of china dish. Now we have to constantly stir it carefully so that we will avoid crust formation on the walls of china dish. Now stir it with the help of a glass rod and completely heat it so that its volume gets reduced to half of the original volume. Place the china dish in a trough containing cold water, cover it with black paper and allow it to stand undisturbed for some time to get green colored crystals. Now in the terminal portion of the china dish you can very clearly see the green colored crystals which have formed. Now filter the above solution with the help of an ordinary filter paper to get green colored crystals on the filter paper, and this is the process of filtration which is going on. You can clearly see. And now after a required number of times filtering the solution, we'll get yellowish green crystals of sodium trisoxalatoferrate 3 ion. So these are our crystals of sodium trisoxalatoferrate obtained after filtering the precipitate a required number of times, so that we will get a significant quantity of crystals. So you can see these are yellowish to green in color. So this is the practical notebook in which we have noted the result of our experiment of preparation of sodium trisoxalatoferrate 3, and the yield came out to be 2.2 grams.